All right, fine.
I
Hi,
think you.
everybody.
Woo!
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show.
Welcome
Now,
to homecoming week for me.
yeah, that's right, and that explains your outfit, right? Because what was today,
Superhero Day. Yay!
which is why you're in Ms. Marvel regalia.
Oh, did I tell you? I don't know. Did I tell you about my jewelry?
I don't think you did.
Guess where it's
You,
from?
I have no idea.
Okay, let me put it this way. Guess what country it's from?
The United States,
No, but I'll give you another
Pakistan,
guess. Yes! Good job.
appropriate for Miss Marvel, I would suppose.
Thank
Yes, yeah.
you. It's also pretty. Pizza. I get pizza.
They were food related beeps.
Food really. I'm gonna wait. 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 Oh, I want the pizza.
Oh, Kara wants you to explain. I guess you. I mean, I could explain it, but you are the teacher, so you have more immediate experience. What is homecoming week for people
Home.
in for international viewers who may not know what it is?
So homecoming is an excuse to have various festivities during the week leading up to a generally for American high school football game in the fall. But quite often and theoretically the purpose behind it is that it coincides with um fall break for universities so that students who graduated can come back and reconnect with their communities. So it's a
Right.
homecoming for that.
Hence homecoming. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not specifically about it, like in that sense, it's not specifically about school sports, but typically I mean, the big sport in the United States is American football. So that week's football game is, the homecoming game. And of course, because you have all
Right.
these, graduates coming back, it's a big game because, they want to see that, their alma mater do well, things like that. So,
Yeah.
so yeah.
And
And
there's
then of
usually
course there's
like
also
there's a dance.
there's a dance, Snake Bit Cat also says. And then typically the current students elect or yeah, vote on representatives for their court, the homecoming court.
Right. Right. There'll be like a
Representatives
king and
to
a queen. Yeah.
theoretically often just a queen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, did they have a homecoming king at your school?
Yeah. There all 4 years there was a homecoming queen and a homecoming king. Yeah.
Interesting. So
Yeah.
we had a problem. So here it's just the homecoming queen and the homecoming court, and the court, and then they also have what they call class representatives. So like the ninth graders will vote for like one person to represent the ninth grade class on the homecoming court, and sophomores and juniors will do the same thing.
Mhm.
Um, and that's it. And then at my high school, I remember I don't think we had homecoming king, but like they would announce like standout players, and then there would be a homecoming MVP. So that was, and
Interesting.
you
Yeah.
know, I guess you could have there were some teams who've had there are some teams who've had female football players, but
Mhm.
when I was at my school, my 4 years, all the football players were dudes. So that was the dudes thing, and then the girls had the homecoming court. So
Separate but equal. The American way.
yep. Well, and also but more like well, there aren't any girls to make MVP, so we'll do something else for them. They can wear pretty dresses. Woohoo.
The women's auxiliary.
Pretty much. Hi, Dade.
So for
So,
everybody, for everybody who doesn't know, it's in the title of the video and it's also in the description. But we're watching Poirot this week, and
woohoo!
we're watching the Disappearance of Mr. Davenheim. And if
So
you
it
have
sounds
access
like
to that
no murder
disappearance, whatever.
again.
So if you have access to that episode, go ahead and cue it up and get ready. And if you don't have access to that episode and you want to watch along with us, which would be great, there is a link to the version of the episode that Dana and I will be watching in the video description. It's hosted at the Internet Archive, so you can just stream it or download it and watch it along with us. So
Yeah,
there
some
you
of
go.
them are really big. I have something similar to that up here, the Texas Homecoming Mumflower. It's up here. Um, but I don't think they're horrifying. I think they're silly. Um, but yeah. Kara, by the way, I am reading, I don't know if you're familiar with this particular memoir, Sitting Pretty. It's really good. She's in a wheelchair, and that was one of the things she talks about how like she was never she was very she can only think I think she mentioned she can think of one time when she was bullied or mocked for being in a wheelchair. And she said that basically that doesn't mean that she had a good adolescence. Um, because she's the one, because everybody knows, you don't say mean things to the disabled kid, because then what kind of evil are you? Like you only pick on the normal kids.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like there's just so many layers to uh the bigotry there.
Yeah.
It's just all over the place. Thanks, Dave.
I
I'm glad you enjoy it. And this is it's inclusive, trans inclusive, but just general inclusivity as well. So yeah.
I I I put up a video on Monday, one of my little skits where I decide I need to get out of my bubble. So I take a walk with a hobo bindle down to Alabama,
Forrest Gump in it.
and yeah, and I order a beer in a bar down in Alabama, and within seconds the bartender has dropped the N word. So I go back home, and I'm like, okay, I've been outside the bubble long enough. Um,
That's it. I'm
and
good.
and I got a comment from someone who said, "Oh, people don't say the N word anymore. They're way more like subtle
Dog
about their
whistling.
racism." Yeah, and I thought I'm gonna make a video about it. I'm gonna just do like an off the cuff video about it. I just haven't had time to do it yet. But I mean, my basic response to that is, "Oh, you sweet summer child."
Yeah, pretty
Um,
much.
I mean that the thing that happens to me in that video, where the bartender says the N word, that has never happened to me, but it is inspired by something that happened to a person I actually knew back during the Obama administration. This acquaintance of mine was passing through the town where I grew up and stopped into a bar just to get a drink. I think he was on a road trip and he was almost home, and he was like, well, I'll stop at a bar for a few hours and relax. And so he stopped, he walked up to and he'd never been here before. He'd never been to this bar before. Nobody knew him. He was a complete stranger. And this is a fellow white person. Walks into the bar, orders his whatever, sits down next to a guy. The guy he sits down next to, within seconds, like as a way of striking up a conversation, says, so what do you think about this N-word Obama? This is a person he's never met before, and this is the first thing he chooses to say to him. So yeah, people do still
It
talk like
happens.
that. And I mean, what I've told people this before, and it applies to all kinds of places, not just Hagerstown, but Hagerstown is one of the places it applies to, and Washington County, just this whole region in general. If you've never heard the N word before, if you've never heard someone actually speak the N word in real conversation, just go to Hagerstown, get yourself in a room where it's nothing but white people, and wait, because it's going to happen
And you
eventually.
ain't gonna have to wait long.
I mean, because when people, I'm not saying, obviously not every white person is racist. That's not what I'm saying, but it's pervasive enough. and there are enough people who are comfortable with it and
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
who assume that if they're in a room full of other white people that they will also be comfortable with it, that you will hear it. So I mean, it would be nice if it were otherwise, but it's not. So that you reminded me of that when you were saying, like, well, you don't come right out and make fun of the disabled person. That was sort of the attitude. Well, people are racist, but they don't say the N-word. Yeah, they do.
Yes, they do.
Oh, yes, they do. And I say that as a white person. I'm sure black folks who live around here could tell you all kinds of times they've heard white people say that word. I mean, it happens. It happens.
It's not okay, but it still happens.
It's
somehow.
Not remotely okay, but it happens. Yeah. Yeah.
So, Steve, did you read the book White Fragility? I'm trying to remember.
No, I have a copy of it on my Kindle, but I haven't actually gotten to read it yet. To read it yet. I've had it for like 2 years and I haven't.
I won't tell you how. I have no sense of time, so I really actually couldn't tell you how long it took me to watch the prison movie with Morgan Freeman and the tall guy.
Shawshank.
Yeah, Shawshank Redemption. Yeah.
Good movie.
Tim
Robbins.
Right, because my brain was like, it's not Tim Curry. I know that much.
My God, how different would that movie have been?
A very different movie. So
Tim Curry with the English accent and everything. Anyway. So White Fragility, you were saying.
Yeah, and then but also the book that it made, that your anecdote made me think of, is the book White Rage by Carol Anderson.
Okay.
So good. Like, White Fragility is good. Nothing wrong with it. But White Rage is so much more on point. And it's I think it's telling that was in response to the election of Obama. Like, that is a huge part of the reason that we ended up with Trump. I
think that's about 75% of it. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Exactly. It was.
And Dade, I wouldn't say that Trump made open bigotry sexy, but more, definitely a lot more normalized. Just like, oh, hey, if the president can say that, then
it normalized it.
Yeah. How many pages is that book? I don't know. I'd have to Google it. So can you. I have no idea. I don't know. That's why I was looking around. I was going to show you, but I'm like, I've got it around someplace. No, I've got a copy of the new Jim Crow over here. That's just a bunch of papers and stuff. That's hiding. The pride flag is important, not just for what it represents, but also for what it hides.
It's also functional. Yeah, exactly.
The mess.
It's a load-bearing flag.
Also the mess on the floor. We've got books. We've got the supplies that I took to make the beginning of the school year gifts for my fellow English teachers. Still, they're not just spread out all over the place. They're in a little white tote, but I haven't put them back where they go. We've got tissues because they don't fit up here on the desk, because I've got my book. I've got my little thing that holds the chapstick and my wishing stone and some paper clips. And I've got an empty spool of ribbon. Oh yeah, that was from the cast member gifts that it's made of cardboard, and I need to take it out to the recycling, but I haven't actually done that because I keep forgetting, because I'll just put it right here on the desk, so it's right in front of me. Anyway, yeah, it hides all of that.
You've just been listening to Dana's Hoarder Inventory. This is a new segment of the show that we're testing out. It's just a little pilot program. We're going to see if it takes out.
Oh, and also my earrings that they're
oh
little,
your unpainted Tom Servo earrings.
My gumball machine earrings. I also have flamingo charms, which maybe we'll get on tomorrow's homecoming theme. Have I told you about our homecoming themes? They're all.
You haven't told me about you told me about yesterday's and today's, but you haven't told me about upcoming in the week.
So yeah, yesterday was like the power of your mind, rhyme without reason, come up with clever ways to visually demonstrate rhymes. and working in, with a friend or a group of friends, come up with rhymes. So we were at I Went as Vampire Bat. Thank you, Dade. And then tomorrow, I forget what the phrase is, but it's Barbieheimer.
Oh, hey, riding the
Yes,
zeitgeist.
I know. I'll be really interested to see what people
Current
come up
events.
with. Yeah, so I was like, that's pretty. And Monday was just USA Powerhouse. So people just wore red, white, and blue.
You wore red, white, and blue. Yeah.
We had one person who just carried an American flag around, like probably about 2 feet by 3 feet on a pole, carried around all day.
Oh wow, they carried around on a pole. They didn't even do the Kurt Angle where they draped it over their shoulders and like wore it like.
Oh, we had at least one person do that as well. The Kurt Angle.
Oh, well, good. Yeah. Well, that's good.
The angle.
I'm sure it wasn't meant as a Kurt Angle reference, but I would appreciate it as such nonetheless.
It should have been. Wait, excuse me. It's true. It should have been.
Indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed. Integrity, intelligence, and I don't remember the order they were in, but those were 2 of the 3, right?
Intensity, integrity, and intelligence. That's right. The 3 I's.
Oh, I just think he's so great. I really think he's great.
He is. He's one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, he's really good at what he does, but also just like playing up either as a heel or as a face, just that genuine, like, gee gosh golly. And then the offended white boy sense of I deserve this. I am an Olympic champion.
The thing that made one of the things, if we could, I'll continue the Kurt Angle Appreciation Society just for a minute because I love Kurt Angle. First of all, he was a great wrestler in the ring. He's one of the greatest wrestlers in the ring of his generation, or really of anybody's generation. He was fantastic, and he was a great legitimate. I mean, he actually won an Olympic gold medal. Like, that wasn't bullshit. He was legitimately one of the greatest. I think he won 2.
Yeah,
but they were both at the '96 Olympics.
Won them both.
But no, I mean, and that's legit. Like, he was a real Olympic champion wrestler. And so that was real, and it translated to his in-ring work. I mean, once he settled in as a pro wrestler, I mean, he had his green period like anybody else, but once he got it, he had it, and he was one of the greatest ever. But he could be a goofball like he was when they first brought him into the WWF, when he was, he was a heel, but he was more of like a comedic character. And, I remember they did this backstage skit with him and Steve Austin when Steve Austin was, I think, in his heel period in like 2001, where Steve Austin brought cowboy hats in for everybody who was like on his team,
Oh God, I remember this.
And Kurt Angle's cowboy hat was just a little tiny toy cowboy hat that just like sat on the top of his head. And Kurt wore it proudly without an ounce of self-awareness. And he like was standing there with his chest out and his shoulders back. And he had his little ridiculous cowboy hat on.
His hero pose. My God.
And Steve Austin said, "You look like a cowboy, Kurt." And Kurt just nodded and smiled proudly and said, "I feel like one." And it was like, it was perfect. But then he shaved his head and became like the wrestling machine. And was like the most badass, serious, technical, like wrestler, which
because
worked as a heel or a face, and it's like he made that transition where he went from the goofball that everybody knew had like the legit background, but he would mostly use that for like heel bragging rights, like you were saying, like, I'm an Olympic medalist and I deserve better than this, and then he made that transition from that into the serious like wrestling machine guy, and you bought it completely. Because he really was that good.
Yeah.
I mean, he was, pro wrestling is fake, but if Kurt Angle had wanted to, that's part of the magic of pro wrestling when it really works. Is like, okay, they're cooperating with each other, and whoever the boss says wins the match is going to win the match. But if Kurt Angle wanted to, he could win all of these matches.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway,
very much like, I mean, I mean, just because it's scripted doesn't mean it's not real. Very much.
Oh, sure.
Like staged sword fighting.
which you have some experience in.
Yes. Oh my gosh,
Absolutely.
that was so much fun. And yes, it's still like, I mean, I'm breathing hard at the end of that sword fight. Like, you
Yeah,
know,
you still have to go out and do it. I mean, you
yep.
can say like with a wrestling match, you can say, well, they determined ahead of time who was going to win. Well, yeah, but they still had to go out and do it.
Yep. And it's, I mean, it's very much, it's both about, despite the fact that, we are in adversarial roles in the play at that
Right.
point, we're both out there to make each other look good on stage. So
Yeah, and you want people watching the play to buy into it in that moment that your
to
characters
think
are
that we're
having a
gonna
fight.
absolutely that we're going at each other
Yeah,
with these swords and like,
but you
and
want to
we're
be
talking, we're
safe
talking
so that
about,
you're not
when
actually endangering each other.
yeah, and
Yeah.
just make sure, and I'll say, when you go for that cut nice and sharp so that we can hear the swoosh of the blade
Yeah.
and clank, clank, clank. Oh gosh, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so much fun. Ah, yeah.
So
I
what do you say we
really
watch this what do you say we
yes.
watch this Poirot episode, eh?
Let's do it. Well, I've got mine pulled up. You got
Me
yours?
too. I got mine pulled up and
Woo-hoo!
ready to go. So hopefully everybody has their Poirot episode pulled up. Once again, we're watching series 2, episode 5, The Disappearance of Mr. Davenheim. Would you like to tell the people how this works, Dana?
So it's Steve's channel, so Steve gets to say. So he's going to say 3, 2, 1, play, and when Steve says play, that's when we click the button that says play. But if something's hinky, and like we're not going to be like reciting it along like it's Galaxy Quest or something, I'm very sorry. I apologize if
Not
you watched
this
that
one.
video. Not this one. So up here,
Yes. In
there's
fact,
the time
pretty
code.
much
So
right
if you
over
get,
your head, right over your side of the video, yes, is where the actual numbers will be. Yeah.
okay. So yeah, you can look at the time code to be like, okay, or if you come in late, you can look at the time code and be like, where are we going? So there you go. So now you know, and that's going to be the same for future and past episodes of this live stream.
Indeed.
Okay. All
So
right,
I'll
so
do
Steve,
3.
I am my cursor is poised. I am poised.
You are ready to go.
I am.
Okay,
Yep,
then.
straight.
Then I will go ahead and I will count us in. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, play.
Kara, that is a great retort. Kara, that's mostly true, but I have found that mostly the only person who can make me happy is me, but also anyone who gives me pie can pretty much make me happy.
There is a shortcut to winning your favor.
Pie!
Bring pie. The funny little Belgian.
Okay, can I eat my pizza now?
Yeah, I'm not. Ain't nobody stopping you.
You've been so
By the way,
judgy.
we both have a special pizza tonight. We decided to go
Pineapple and pizza
pineapple.
night.
That's right. I know some people don't like pineapple on pizza, and if that is you, I would recommend not getting it.
You got a pineapple and pepper pizza. How's that for
Yes, I
alliteration?
did. I got a pineapple and jalapeno.
Uh-oh. You dude, you better move. There you go. Honestly, Kara, what does that person want you to do? Ask the questions during the lecture? That would be rude. Ooh, sparkles. Carrie, I think we talked about this before. The Bible says that the prayer of the righteous is powerful and effective. So maybe your aunt just wasn't very righteous.
That would be my guess.
That is a very impressive beard
It is
and
indeed.
mustache.
Looks like he just got back from a wedding. Yeah, it's rather. Vilcata, yeah. Man, why don't we seal envelopes like this anymore? This is the classy way to seal envelopes.
Tasty, tasty, tasty.
But there's no door to the outside in there.
So she just sat there for an hour and a quarter?
Well, she was listening to music.
Ooh.
Never to be seen again.
Alive.
Magic. I bet Poirot loves magic. Am I the only one not enjoying this?
Am I not this straight?
Ah, she's gone into the chrysalis or pupa. Ooh. As you know.
I won't say no to a spot of brandy. Here, here's some tea. What?
Hmm. Ta-ta.
Ooh, significant glance. The
Ah,
little dry cells.
so he's more of a Plato kind of guy.
In the cave.
Exactly.
Oh, it's that one. Oh, it's that one. It's that one. It's that one. Okay, I
Oh,
got it.
you know this one now?
Yeah. He sends Hastings out, if I remember correctly, which I don't remember the title. It's the one where he sends Hastings out to be his eyes and ears.
Caladan, to answer your question, no. I would not be willing to do that. I see no reason to do that. Snake Big Cat, that's a hilarious pun. I really like that. I really like that.
So clever. Ooh, I like that jacket.
You know, yeah, Hastings looks really sharp too. I mean, like, if you didn't know what a
Goes
dumbass
right
he
over and
was, you
talks to
might.
the girls. He knows
If
he
you didn't
looks
know what a,
sharp.
if you didn't know what a dumbass he was, you'd think he was a detective with the hat and the jacket,
Yeah.
the little pad. He's writing stuff down.
Yeah.
So, you seeing anybody?
Well, she was thinking, Kara. Speaking of mustaches,
Yeah, really.
guess what finally showed up?
Oh, hey. Look, too late for the show, but ooh.
Very tickly. I also have these.
Oh, hey. You're a
Ah,
beatnik.
it is very itchy.
Why do her bangs look like 666s?
Do they? It's the other way. Six would go this way. They go that way.
They look like sixes to me.
I remember it well. Oh, Kara, I missed them. I'll have to. I noticed his coffee set earlier.
Yeah. Oh,
Were
Hastings,
you
you
wearing dark
dumbass.
trousers, Hastings? No, it's not. That's why I asked. So mean. Dun dun dun. So you go right there.
Ooh. Hastings likes cars. Ooh, that's a low blow, Poirot.
Oh, dark pants.
That's action.
Dun dun dun. Perhaps he jumped in. I'm stuffy.
Well, they've been at it for about 10 minutes and nothing. I think we can call it a day.
I don't want to pay overtime.
Oh, never mind. It's not my size. It's the coat he wore to that wedding.
I think they mean my flag, not yours, Steve.
I believe that, yes, they do. Although my flag way in the background is pretty cool too, but you can't see it as well.
Eh.
Poirot effortlessly mastering sleight of hand is just hilarious to me.
I'm busy. Do it yourself, boss.
Oh, that was
Saw
good.
that coming.
That's a classic, but he landed it. I like it.
Oh, she only got a few little doohickeys that time.
That's a good point, Kara. I would think if Poirot was going to be get into stage magic, I would expect him to be more into like mentalism or something. But you know,
Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy.
God, Hastings' dick must be so hard right now.
I think he just made a mess.
It was you, Hastings. I knew it. Snake Bit Cat. That's all. You're on a roll tonight. That's a good one too. Wah, wah, wah.
Oh, poor Hastings. So sad. I mean, dude, you were in the car.
He
Go.
got yeah.
Just
You got to
you
sit in the
snooze, you
car.
lose. You're in the fast car. What are you waiting for? Permission? Wait, you already had that.
Uh-oh. Oh man, did I screw up somehow? Oh, mustache still looks good. At least there's that. It's a mustache war this week on Poirot. Oh yeah.
Oh, that was vicious.
They had fun with this one. They had fun with this one.
But I'm glad you're here, HB Hago. We haven't done Wordle yet, so you're around for that. And also, they haven't solved the mystery. So you're around for that. Ta-da! Dun dun dun. Go, Hastings, go. Ooh, interesting.
Just getting a glass of water.
What the? This one does. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. I need to buy one of those cars.
Yeah. I think the
Clearly.
solution to this mystery relies on it, Poirot.
So important.
See, this was a golden age when gearheads were still perceived as nerds and were shunned by society. Taxi! Never mind.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Ah, nice.
Dun, dun, dun. There would have been an ad there.
There would have been, but there ain't.
Mr. I Love the Ants, that's faster than most roller coasters.
I don't like your tone. Hmm. Yes, Loke, we're watching an episode of Poirot. The link is in the description.
Meat and potatoes for me, Poirot. None of this green vegetables.
I don't want nothing green on my plate whatsoever.
I meant that. Show off.
I love that he saw one magic show and he read a book and now he's like the master of sleight of hand,
Well,
and it's been like it's been less
we
than a
saw
week.
him reading one book. He's had a week of doing nothing. I
How
think
do
that
you
would
like
make
your
a very
mustache?
handsome gentleman.
See, he hasn't even finished the book yet.
Maybe he's got more than one. I sometimes read more than one book at the same time.
No, that was the same book. That was the same book he was looking at earlier.
I sometimes, well, he hasn't finished
Oh,
this one, but
I
that
see
doesn't
what you're
mean
saying.
he's also reading
He's
something
reading other
else.
books. I gotcha. Oh, thank you, Aaron. Glad you could be here. See you, Snakebit Cat. Thanks for stopping by. So some of these tricks he has to set up ahead of time in the hope that he will have an opportunity to do them.
Well, he knows how to lead the conversation to it
He got
because
a
he's
replica
smart.
made of that cutout newspaper article.
No, he got a second copy of the paper and he cut it out.
Or that. I think you're so smart.
Yes, sir. You never do, Hastings.
Inevitable.
Because I am the psychic. Vous permettez. Dun dun dun. You always are. Captain Hastings.
What else is new, Hastings?
Humidity.
And Aaron, you know, it's better late than never for starting to watch Deep Space Nine. Hmm.
What fun!
Acting. Bye.
He shaved. How long does it take to grow a mustache? None of you pay attention. Oh, he knows that I am Belgian and not French.
Thank you for insulting me with the correct nationality. I appreciate that.
It's not an insult to be Belgian. The insult is in behaving as though it is. Kara, he doesn't have to actually break into the safe. He just has to tap it into it enough, tap at it enough that it looks like it's been forced. Thought they were quiet.
Who wants squab? Oh, that was a really good episode. I like that one a lot. I like that one a lot.
Oh, Hastings. It's so much fun.
It was really funny, and the solution to the mystery was very clever. Um, I like it a lot. Yeah, Vilcata, boy, did the Prestige ever ruin the vanishing bird trick? Yeah. Oh, so that's how they do it.
Okay, so shall we wordle? Because I need to go and get some
Yes,
allergy medicine.
you are. Oh, I'm
I'm
sorry.
squeaking
Are
and
your
sniffling.
allergies bothering
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, I'm just like all kinds of stuffy. Like, I apologize if I grossed anybody out, but I was kind of chewing with my mouth like open. I tried to like not be real obvious about it, but I'm like, I can't breathe. So
I'm sorry.
I have.
Okay, well, yeah,
It's
let's
okay.
let's 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 do Wordle, and then you're off the hook.
Woohoo!
Okay, so this is today's Wordle. And the way this works is, for those of you who have never played Wordle with us before, Dana takes the lead and, is sort of in charge of what we guess and what we don't. But
Yeah,
Dana,
I'm in
yeah,
charge of this one.
Dana's boss. But Dana is not actually seeing the Wordle board. She is just going by my description of it. You all are seeing the Wordle board right now, and you can play along with us if you would like in the chat. If you have not played today's Wordle and you don't know the answer and you want to throw in your suggestions and your guesses, please do that, and we will play as a group. And the only thing we ask is, if you have solved today's Wordle, please do not give away the solution in the chat. So, having said that, Dana, shall we begin?
Let's begin with heart.
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 Heart. Let's see what that brings us. Well, not too bad. We got an E and an A and an R, but none of them are in the right place.
RA something something E maybe. All right. Well, let's try
Possibly.
lions and see what we get. Vilcata, yeah, unless the bird is, has just been having a really bad time of it and is just at the end of its rope. And that's just what it wants. I swear there was a squirrel that was absolutely determined. I felt bad, but like I slowed down. I was like, okay, and then I started going again, and it went back and like dove under the tires. I was like, okay, that's just you, dude. That's you.
That's not my fault. Okay, so lions gives us an L, but in the wrong place. So we now have 4 of the 5 letters. We just don't know where any of them go. We know there's an L, an E, an A, and an R, but not in any of those positions.
RAL or something AREL. That's not how you spell
Something,
quarrel, unfortunately.
you see, something AREL.
Or something ALER would also work. Or RE. ALRE.
ALRE. Yeah, yeah.
Holy smokes, Mr. I Love the Ants. That's impressive. That was a very determined steer.
I'm saying part of Dana's heart was not in the right place, Vilcata.
Which the left or the right ventricle?
I would have to examine it closely. I'm not prepared to.
Oh, okay. Okay. Difficult to do from a distance.
Yeah.
You got a scalpel? Pearl, L lions. That would work. And no, pearl won't work because the E and the A were in the wrong places.
Yeah, pearl doesn't. Yeah, exactly. The
and the R as well.
Pearl, yeah, the EAR, it can't be. Yeah, pearl, it cannot be because E, A, and R are not in their proper places in heart.
Also, learn would not work for very much the same reason. Also, no N.
Nothing with EAR is the middle three letters will work because those are all in the wrong spot.
It could be early.
It could be early. Yes,
That's my guess. That's my guess.
You want to try early? Okay, let's try early. EARLY. Wow, no, it is not early. And none of those are the proper positions for those letters.
But clear also moves everything. HEART.
That's true. Yep. It could be clear because there's nothing to prevent the L from being the second letter. You want to try clear?
Or the E and the A are just moved over one.
Right.
And the R, E, A, and R moved down. Yeah.
You want to try clear?
Liz, that's too many letters.
Let's try clear. CLE.
Man, I was so ready for it to be early.
I know. But
go for it.
It's clear.
Kara.
The answer is clear.
Oh, Steve.
Yes.
I was wrong. But we worked on it together and we got the answer. Hooray!
Yes, indeed. And that's what really matters. What matters is we won, not here. And this is a life lesson for all you kids out there.
Okay? And especially for me, because I struggle.
For you, well, sure. But for anybody watching, it doesn't matter how you win. It matters that you win.
That you win.
Okay.
Remember, kids.
In other words,
winning isn't everything. It's the only thing.
Exactly. It's not how you play the game. It's whether you win or lose.
Exactly. Except, I mean, of course, how you play the game is you play to win.
Oh, yes.
All right. Speaking of early, it no longer is. So let's call it a night.
Let's call it a night. So, okay, now let's talk about this. Are we doing this next week?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because you have a
thing. Because I've got physical therapy from 5 to 6, and I cannot teleport here.
Right.
Doesn't work that way.
We'll skip next week. Are we doing it the week after next?
I think so, aren't we? Are we? We are, aren't we?
I'm asking. I mean, I'm available. I'm asking if you're available.
I mean, you're always available. You're such a cheap date.
I am very available, yes. But I'm asking if you have any prior commitments.
So. Okay. I don't think so.
So we're taking next week off again, and once again, completely Dana's fault. And
I know.
We'll be back we'll be back in 2 weeks for another Trek Reluctant.
TNG.
And we will well, Deep Space Nine, close.
Oh, I knew there were letters involved.
And we will be watching, although you bring up TNG, we will be watching one of the least TNG-like episodes of Deep Space Nine.
So I take it there's no Worf? Or the curly-haired dude?
Worf's not in it I don't remember Worf being in it a whole lot, but no, in terms of tone, because I believe I mentioned to you last time when we first brought up this episode, this is one of the darkest episodes of Star Trek ever produced.
Oh man, now I gotta wait 2 weeks.
It's also
Steve, Steve,
yeah, yes, Dana.
and in the end, does someone die? You don't have to
No.
say that, but I'll let you know. That's a reference.
Well, then it's over my head.
I know.
But anyway, no, it's and one of my favorite episodes. It's an excellent episode, but it's super dark. It's super dark, and
they're all one of your favorite episodes.
There's a scene in it that, I mean, you'll probably know what scene it is when we get to it. I don't think I'll have to point it out to you. It might be the darkest single scene of any show, of any Star Trek show. So yeah, great episode. But anyway, so we're off next week, and then 2 weeks from now, we'll be back with Deep Space Nine.
There's no singing.
No singing. And I forgot to say, and the episode is Hard Time. Hard Time is the episode that we're watching. So.
Okay.
The Big Boss Man story. Chief O'Brien goes down to Cobb County, Georgia, and he meets the baddest prison guard of all, the Big Boss Man.
What?
The Big Boss Man.
From Cobb County, Georgia.
He is from Cobb County. Yes, he was from Cobb County.
Yes, I know. We talked about him. I remember.
If you ever take a trip down to Cobb County, Georgia.
So there is singing.
Well, that's the Big Boss Man's theme song. Yeah.
What's Kurt Angle's theme song? Will you sing that for us, Steve?
Well, it doesn't have words, but it's, dun da da dun da da dun da 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 da. Actually, some fans used to give it words, and the words were, "You suck, you suck, you suck, you suck."
He was just the best. Still is, I figure.
Well, he's retired.
I hope he's just. But I mean, I figure he seems like a guy who's got his head on straight. I hope he's just retired and he's just living his best life.
As far as I know, he's doing well in retirement. He had a drug issue for a while. He had like a painkiller addiction.
Yeah.
But I think he's gotten through that. I think he's been clean for quite a few years now, and had some injuries, but got surgeries and everything. And he hasn't actually been active in the ring for a few years. As far as I can tell, and as far as I've heard, I think he's doing okay. So, yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah. Good for you.
All
Kurt.
right. Yep.
All right. So, no show next week, but 2 weeks we'll be back for Deep Space Nine and Hard Time. Yes.
Also, don't forget, this Friday is Ask Away.
That's correct. I got my Ask Away this Friday.
You, like me, have just a whole bunch of stuff going on in your life. You haven't turned in your ask. There's still time.
Yes.
Just click the link in the email that got sent out to
plenty
you.
Of time. Yep.
And you got like 1,000 characters to play with. Send Steve a question and it'll get read to the world on the air on Friday before all of the yahoos in the chat get to send in questions.
Before I lower myself
first.
Before I lower myself to interact with the riffraff in the live chat, no offense.
And the rabble
in the live chat right now. The rabble, yes.
We're also in the live chat. You can be
the
there
groundlings. The hoi polloi. You can, if you are a member or a patron, you get your question
answered. You can be either or both.
Yep. Yes, indeed. You can go to patreon.com/Steve Shives to become a patron, or you can click the join button to become a member. And either way, you get to submit a question before each Ask Away. that
Super
I will answer in the first
special.
part of the show.
You get the opportunity to do so. You don't have to. And Steve
don't
won't
have to.
actually mock you the way that he does me. You know,
I actually only
viciously,
mock you because you here. Okay, here's
ruthlessly, relentlessly, heartlessly, spinelessly. Actually, he doesn't. He doesn't. I pitch a fit every
you
week
bring
or
it
every
up.
other week.
You bring it up so.
Incessantly.
You bring it up more during the week than I do. You're like, I haven't sent in a question yet. What should my question be?
I can't think of
And
anything.
like,
I can't think of anything to ask.
and I'm like, if you don't have a question or you don't want to, you don't have to. It's okay.
Like, yeah, but I want to go with
but...
something good. Oh, but so if you don't, that's okay too. But it's a great way to support Steve and have content like all of this stuff. I mean, not like literally this stuff, because this is my stuff. You can't have it, Steve.
Not the stuff in Dana's room right now. No.
Anyway, good night, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, I guess, for some of y'all. And thanks so much for spending some time with us.
Absolutely. Bye, everybody.